Okay, so this is our session 0 for the cold lands of Icewind Dale, aka Rime of the Frostmaiden. First time doing a bot module and not my homebrew setting, so we'll see how bad I can butcher this. So a few things I want to cover with you guys in this first part, session 0. I guess first thing is right now, my intention is to maybe do this like once a month until the other main campaign gets complete. It's going to depend on how my schedule works, but typically during the colder, I guess, months, it works out better for me schedule wise because I don't have to worry about getting up, going fishing the next morning, and being a zombie or anything like that. So once a month is kind of what I'm starting with on this for now until we get done with the main campaign. Then we'll switch to 2 weeks like we were with that one. Is that an issue with anybody? Okay, I'll take
No,
that as
that's
a
fine.
no. So along
None
with
here.
that, I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, I said none here, but
Okay.
I'm chewing, so I'm trying to unmute.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So along with it, if we're going to do this once a month, I could probably dedicate a longer session than typically. I go like 3 to 4 hours max. So I didn't know if I want to bring up to you guys if we push this for like a 4 to 6 hours and maybe we start like an hour earlier. Again, you don't have to answer now. Just something I'm going to put out there since it's only going to be once a month for I don't know how long the main campaign is going to take us to get done. It could be one session. It could be three. I don't know. But it's one thing I've been thinking about since we're doing it once a month. Moving up an hour is not an issue for anybody because nobody here, I think everybody's either central or eastern or beyond on the group here. Is that correct? Nobody here is on
Okay.
mountain or Pacific?
Eastern.
Okay, that's what I thought. So moving up an hour earlier is actually probably no big deal for you guys. But again, don't give me an answer now. Just think about it. I do want to go over the house rules. And Don, to my point a while ago, if you guys go to the journal section and if you guys look under start here, let me show them my dummy screen so someone comes back to watch this, they can see it. If you look under start here, wow, I got a lot of stuff exploded out. There should be a code lands table of contents. So when you go into that, there should be some things you can click on. One of them is the house rules. Let's make sure I did open that up for everyone to see. But this kind of goes over pretty much everything we had in the previous campaign. You know, we're still doing the mana pool thing versus the slot points. We're still doing the starting feats for skills or feats for races. And Wayne's not here. And I know that in this, I can't remember, I didn't look it up before this session. These end up getting put into like Xanathars or Mordenkainen's, one of those two. But I don't think they ever did a feats for races for like Goliath. Do any of you guys remember seeing that in those books? If not, then I'll have to work out something for Wayne's character since he's playing the Goliath. But everyone gets to start with one of those feats,
I think it was
and you
Volos, right?
maybe it was Volos. You know, I was going to make
Or
it a
wait,
point.
the
Go ahead.
skill feat. I'm sorry, Brian. The skill feats you said,
No, the
or
feats
the
for
races?
races. There's feats for skills and there's feats for specific races, like the squat nimbleness. That was something for like dwarfs and halflings, as I recall.
And gnomes, yeah.
Yeah. So, but there, I don't think that that covered anything for the, I guess, the non-PHB races, like the Goliath. So I may have to come up with some kind of a custom thing for Wayne to do that. So if you guys haven't already picked one of those, I guess you got a few minutes while I'm jabbering here. If you want to kind of add one of those to your
He
characters.
skill. I know he chose the skill feat already.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Unless you get one of each. Do you get one of each or
No,
just
just
one?
one or the other.
Okay.
And just like before, once you level up, you can change that to something else if you want, or you can just keep it. It's up to you.
Oh, sweet.
Critical hits, just like before. When you land a critical hit, it's going to be max base damage. Then you roll for the extra damage. We're still doing glancing blows. It's where like if you have a 2 hit or a DC to hit, if you hit that number, then it becomes like a glancing blow, which is like damage halved. And I'll make like a decision on the fly if it has some kind of effect like stunning or something like that where it's non-damage related. It could be something where instead of lasting a minute, it lasts 1 round or something like that. I'm skipping over salvaging magical parts from creatures. I pretty much made that for one character. It's not with us anymore. No one else has asked for that. Still doing lingering injuries. So when you die, you do a death save. If you do 1 through 5, you get rolled on the lingering injuries table, which we did expand. There's now like 100 different ones than was before. It was like 10. The raise dead thing, you can scratch that. That was only for my Codelands thing, so that's not going to apply here. Still doing the inspiration cards. Cold effects. I've got to double check because they have a whole section in this book that covers cold effects. So this exact thing I've got in here may or may not be 100% accurate. They go a lot more detail in this module than I did. Same thing on magic items. XP, just like in this module, they also do milestones. So I'll let you guys know when you level up so we're not tracking it. I'm not worried about flight. North Arcana, the class features, that still applies here. Healing potions, we're still doing the critical role, where it's a bonus action to do it yourself. It's an action to port into somebody else. And we are also doing it where if you're doing it out of combat, then you get the full max amount from that whenever you take it. Okay, that's all the existing ones. I don't think I left anything out. Do you guys know anything else we did in the other campaign that I left out here? Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. So
We're still doing 3 attunement, just standard stuff.
Correct. So let's talk about a few things I've been contemplating for a while, but I didn't want to put it in my old campaign because it was kind of close to getting wrapped up. So I've seen some different forums and stuff talk about this, and this module, they say right up front, it's like based on a horror theme, and we're supposed to like warn everybody that if there's certain trigger things to let me know. So I don't know what those trigger things are. So
No, scares me. Brian, if you can just ignore anything related to cold, I almost died and got frostbite one time, so.
All right, man. Enjoyed your character. I'll be seeing you later.
Yeah, an axe beak almost got me once.
But one of the things I've been contemplating doing is when you drop to 0 hit points, is do a level of exhaustion. So I want to open this up for first opinions. If you guys have ever done or played or seen anything about that, what's your opinions on that?
No, but I kind of like it. I think it makes sense, especially just thinking back on a couple of the campaigns that we've done recently.
I think that it does make sense.
Okay. So,
like, remember when Anthony's character literally dropped and then got healing worded every single round for 8 rounds straight?
yeah. So keep in mind, with that being said, if someone, in theory does get dropped and picked back up 6 times, I mean, you're dead.
Death. Yeah.
Because 6th level exhaustion is death.
But that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, because you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. So
what do you think, Rob?
I don't know. It seems, I mean, in one of in the group that we play on Saturday, where Kenny bounces back up every time because he's a barbarian.
So that might be a little bit different, right? Like
it annoys the crap out of me.
But I think with that orc thing, it's instead of dropping to 0, you drop to 1, right? Not as you drop to 0, then go back up.
Yeah.
So that'd be one where I would probably rule that doesn't apply to that feat, or that feature.
That first one, yeah. It's kind of like they get a free no exhaustion.
Right. Because they only get to do that once for long rest, right?
It makes you think about it, right? It makes you the exhaustion, adding a level of exhaustion makes you think about, guys, I'm going to be more of a hindrance. It's the 3rd time. I'm not even going to be able to hit these guys. Don't raise me.
You mean let you die?
Well, or just we have to rest. Like we cannot go on without a long rest. Yeah, we have to let him recover or something.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got to use your spell slot for a greater restoration to be able to get rid of one of those levels of exhaustion. And you've also got to, I mean, you could bring him back up to 1, or you could stabilize him at 0 and let him be unconscious, but not have to continue to roll.
Right.
For death saves.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's give it a try in this campaign and see if see how many of us see how bad it is.
Okay.
I don't think that we play exhaustion enough. I don't think exhaustion is it's a brutal mechanic, but a lot of people forget about it.
Right. I mean, and even in this campaign, they talk about it with the cold weather. I mean, but if you got warm weather clothes, I mean, you do it at advantage. It's got like a DC of 8 or something like that. So it's very rare that it happens. Now, if you get wet, that's a different story. But still, I mean, yeah, you're right. Exhaustion is something that, unless it's some kind of spell-driven thing, this doesn't happen that often, in my opinion. Okay. All right, so we'll try that out. We'll do a play test. If we hate it, we'll drop it. If we like it, we'll keep going with it. You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna be the one with 6 levels of exhaustion. We have a healer, a druid, and a bard, and a barbarian.
You started with 4 levels of exhaustion.
I probably did.
Another one that I've been reading up on and I've been contemplating for a while is another way to modify initiative. So it's not always dex based. I've been reading how some people have been using either wisdom or intelligence or either one of them to influence your initiative modifier, which I mean in theory kind of makes sense to me if you can figure out how to use terrain wisdom wise, or you've read up on the art of war or whatever, and you understand what to do first, where wisdom or intelligence could impact your initiative modifier. So it's not just always dex based. So again, I don't expect to have unless you guys want to have a real deep dive into that, but just something I want you guys to think about whether or not that makes sense to add that mechanic as well.
An interesting idea, because if you look at initiative as not just reaction speed,
Right.
You look at it as strategy,
right?
Then I could totally see that.
Right. It's like I know who I need to hit here first, or I know where I need to get the high ground, or however it works. Not necessarily about how fast you react, just knowing what to do. So yeah, I kind of like that as well. So again, don't have to give me an answer tonight, but I just want you guys to think about that, because I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff online about that, but I thought it was kind of intriguing.
I think I'd need to just know how it was figured. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's just like Dex. If your initiative is +4, then if your intelligence has a +4 modifier to it, you use that instead. It's not in addition to your Dex. It's instead of your
either
Dex.
or.
Right.
Okay.
So it's not always the rogue that goes first. You know what I mean? Or the high Dex character. It could be that real tactful wizard that sits in the back and knows what to do first.
Like he was prepared.
Right.
In advance.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay. And last one I'm contemplating, it also ties to intelligence modifier. And I think this was a 3.5 or a 4 ruling. I can't remember where I read it at, but basically your intelligence modifier will also equal how many additional languages you know. So if you have a +2 modifier to your intelligence, you also learn 2 additional languages.
That always made sense to me.
Okay. Was that 3.5 or 4? Again, I never played
it
either
was
one of them.
It was 3.5 if I remember right.
Okay.
I don't know very much about 4, but I know 3.5.
Okay. All right. So that's the last one that I've really been contemplating adding. So I'll send those out to you guys either in an email or I'll put it in Discord, whatever, to kind of give you guys a chance to kind of look it over and think about it. But right now, the only one we're going to really apply is the exhaustion at 0 hit points, and we'll see how that one goes.
Like, okay. So because I have a -1, I might not know how to speak common, maybe?
No. Everyone's going to at least speak common.
Only language you forgot.
You just won't know those fancy words.
Well, I got common, dwarvish, giant, you know what I mean? And I have a 9 intelligence, as an example.
So you can say stuff like rock, bathroom, and kind of like me with Spanish, right?
Rock in the bathroom. Right. Rock in the bathroom.
Okay. Let's see what else from a 0 session standpoint. You guys got your inspiration cards or your secrets already. And I guess technically I haven't dealt you guys an inspiration card, have I? Do I even have that deck in here? Let me look real quick. I thought I brought it over. Yeah, I do have it. So let me do that real quick. Everybody starts off with 1.
Everybody hear me again? I changed headsets.
I hear you now. Yep. I didn't hear you before.
All right. All right.
All right, so there we go. Everybody's got 1 inspiration card to start off with.
Oh, nice.
Okay. What else from a 0 session standpoint? Any question you guys got?
No.
Okay.
Can we level yet?
No, you have not leveled yet.
Level 2.
All right, so I'm gonna stop that recording. I'll have that available for Wayne to watch on his own. Then we'll actually dive in, and I'll do a little intro of the actual module.